Well, you know, we've had some struggles and some challenges, but at the same time, you know, we're moving ahead. We know we've got a big weekend here at Auburn, and guys are excited, and as we always are when we have that weekend with the Auburn series. And you know, I think for us, the position we put ourselves in right now, every game and every series is very critical at this point, and but at the same point, I think it's important for us, you know, coming off, you know, poor showing last weekend in Arkansas, or against Arkansas, that you know, we want to do things the right way. We want to play the game the right way and play extremely hard and put ourselves in a position to be successful this weekend. And if we do that, you know, we're scratching to get into the tournament, stay in the tournament, and still have the, you know, our aspirations to make it to postseason play.
You mentioned last week that backs are kind of against the wall at this point. Can you kind of discuss that mentality, what you're telling the kids, you know, with just a few weeks left?
Yeah, but you know, as I said last week, I think to have success in this game and to play well, you kind of got to have a free mind, you know, and you got to go ahead and let your talent take over. And I think, you know, last weekend and even some weekends prior, as you don't play as well, you begin to stress, you know, as a team. That's a bad environment, you know, to get there. So really, we've tried to ease back a little bit and get the guys just to, you know, relax some. And that's always easier said than done. But I think at the same time, you know, our focus has to be on execution, and both from the mound and at the plate, and the things you've got to do to be successful in the game. And we're a group right now. I think we need some good fortune. We need something good to happen where we can ride that momentum. And you know, we came off 2 good wins yesterday, and I think our guys had a good practice today. We'll go to Auburn tomorrow night, a good workout. And but it's always key on the mound. You know, you got to start, and the starting pitching's got to be quality for you and give you that chance. And we're playing a good Auburn team that's playing very well right now. So we've got to do all the little things well to put ourselves in a good position for the weekend.
You just see it from Auburn right now. I mean, there's a team that was in your position last year, first-year coach, but they were struggling, and just to kind of put wins together and get anything going.
Yeah, you know, when you look at teams in the league that are having success, Auburn's no different than a lot of them. They're throwing a lot more strikes from the mound than they have, and they're an offense that's active. They do a lot of things. They create opportunities. They run the bases well, but they're getting timely hits, you know, with them. So from the mound, you're throwing strikes. You're playing really good defense, and then with that, you manage the offense and you get some key hits at the right time. That builds confidence, and you know, I think if you watch Auburn, how they progress throughout the year, that's what's happening. Right now, they're a very confident team. I think they've won their last 3 or 4 series now, playing very well. So on our side, going in there, I know we're going to have to play really well because they're a team that's not going to beat themselves. They're going to do this well. So we've got to do a good job of not beating ourselves and putting ourselves in position to games.
When you're playing Auburn, it's nice to actually play a series, you know, drop the game in the capital city earlier this year. Just your thoughts about playing them in a series?
Well, the series, you know, this is the one that really counts. And the capital cities, you know, they all count. It's a big game, and that's a great game for the fans. It's a really good atmosphere. I think it helps both teams prepare for the conference. But these are the ones that really make or break you, you know, moving forward as far as whether you get the tournament or you get into postseason play. So there's just more riding on the 3 games in conference, and so you know, it's just every SEC series is big, and obviously the Auburn series is much bigger because of the rivalry, you know, that it comes down to. But the way you play and the way you go after it really doesn't change a whole lot. I mean, the same execution applies right now to win series that does against anyone else.
And from that capital city, have you really looked at like tape and film of that game to kind of focus on this series?
Well, you know, the capital city is a midweek game, so typically you're pitching, you know, different guys than what are throwing this weekend. But also, in Auburn's case, they're playing a lot more different personnel than what they played in that game. So, you know, we have enough guys here. They know a lot about Auburn. We've played them obviously every year 4 times, and so we're not going to change a whole lot regardless of what we're doing. We just have to tighten up our execution and be good in those areas. So there's always just that little bit of edge and excitement about playing Auburn and those guys, because both sides, guys have grown up one way or the other, and obviously the fans get a big boost out of this weekend. But we're trying to win series regardless of who the opponent is, and this would be, I think, for some of our struggles this year, I think this one has been zeroed in a little bit in the last couple of weeks.
You said that zeroed in. Chatter among the players that they want this more than any other? Or
well, I wouldn't go that far. I think the guys just, anytime you play Auburn, I mean, there's just a little more to it. And one is, just about every guy on each team, they know each other. They grew up playing ball together. And so, many of their players we recruited, many of our guys recruited by Auburn. And so it's just a little more at stake, and it's no different than any other sport that that's played when you had that heated rivalry and competition between the two guys, or between the two opponents. So, and it's also, we know that it's a fan game too. They get to brag about it and talk about it. So, anytime you have that, there's a little more at stake, but I don't think it changes how you play. We go out, we're trying to win and trying to execute every game that we play, and but there's a little more energy in the park when you play on it.
You expect to face Keegan this week?
I don't know. They hadn't said yet, if he's going to be available or not. I know he's missed the past couple of weeks, we did face him in the Capital City Classic, but I tell you what, their rotation, Lipscomb and the 2 other kids, they've pitched really well in his absence. Rentz has pitched on Sunday for them and done really well, and so I've been really impressed the way they've pitched, and that's, to me, that's been their #1 improvement, this year, from where they're at. Tom Holliday's a terrific pitching coach, done a great job with those guys. So they've pitched extremely well. They've thrown a lot of strikes, and they're going to force the action. We're going to have to do a good job. We're going to stand on the ball all weekend.